Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Midnight Frogs podcast. Today we are mostly talking about the Straw Hat. No, because there's not a lot to talk about for Tamers Abridged Episode 2. But for now, it's me and Mugiwara Yoshi.
Hello, hello, everybody.
I should actually give you the schedule for today.
It's okay, I'll just guess.
All right, so first, a lot of updates for the Straw Hat. No. Sleeping Dogs is finished. Travis is going to be doing Bioshock Infinite, going to finish that up before we move on to Skies of Arcadia and The Last of Us. Currently, he's also streaming Dark Souls. He and I have been playing that. We're pretty close to the end of that. If you're our patron on our Patreon, you can now guest in our streams. If you're not familiar with our Patreon, the website is patreon.com/thestrawhatno. Any donation amount qualifies you to join us. I've also finished Majora's Mask, and we currently have Wind Waker underway.
Finally. How long have we been talking about it?
A year, maybe. You do explain kind of how the Let's Play is going to go in Part 3, which will be going up next week. So, do you want to explain it now, or just wait for that to go up?
Yeah, I can tell people right now. I don't really mind. Okay, so since I'm playing the HD version of Wind Waker, there's a whole bunch of updates and little tweaks to the game. And one of the new items they put is called the Tingle Bottle, and that's a new feature that's implemented with Miiverse on the Wii U. And what you do is that you're allowed to send other people who have Wind Waker HD messages, or you could just send people messages to your friends, or just specifically your friends. There's settings for it. We decided that we were going to start using the feature so that way we can let the viewers send me bottles for just anything, just to send it to me like a little message or a doodle or something. And I'll have it like displayed in the Let's Play. In part 3, I actually did get one that was specifically meant for me, and I showed it, and it was cute and stuff. So if you guys want to send me a Tingle Bottle, then all you have to do is add Mugiwara Yoshi to your friends list on your Wii U if you have one, and then just play through the game, get the Tingle Bottle feature, and if you want, send me a bottle. Thing is, regardless of the time, you're gonna get like every bottle you ever send ever. If you set it to anyone or friends list. So if you played the game like in June and you add me right now, I'm gonna be able to get your bottles from June, even if they're not for me. I don't know why the game does that, but it's just part of the feature. So you're gonna be seeing me later on, like diving for the bottles, like jumping off of cliffs just to get these Tingle bottles, and I think they're for me and they're not.
Yeah.
So so far only one of them has been for me, and it's gonna be premiered in the third part.
Liar Betty asks a good question. Isn't there a load of spoilers involved with that?
Yeah, there's also a spoiler option. If you do send me a bottle and it has a spoiler in it, you can turn them on and off. I have them on just in case. I don't know. It's just for me anyway. If you do send it to me, I'm not going to display it. And yeah, there are spoiler bottles. If you turn them on, you can find pictures from the end game. I remember I turned, like, when I first playthrough, I turned it on just to see what it was, and I got, like, Ganondorf, like, in the final fight already.
Look what you have to look forward to. Everything that we show off in that I will also post in a thread.
One more, we haven't recorded the part yet, but I will be getting a selfie with every single boss.
Oh yeah, we'll be seeing that in Part 4.
Yeah. I've made it my mission to do it.
I'm currently working on Survival Kids. I haven't started the Let's Play for that. I'm going to hold that off for maybe a month or so. Just kind of get a big backlog of that. But that'll probably be starting either at the end of the month or sometime in October. And it'll be a relatively quick Let's Play. It's kind of a short game. We've added some new rewards to our Patreon. There's some definite rewards that have been put up right now, and we're still accepting new ideas if anyone has them. For people who donate $15 and up, we are going to start a separate podcast specifically for the Straw Hat No and their patrons. $50, you can host a short 1 to 4 part Let's Play, and I'm considering having an option for a longer Let's Play for a bigger donation amount. I'm also thinking about writing some more songs. There's an option for that, where if you donate, I can write a song about your choice of subject. And this was one really funny idea, and I had to put it up. When we reach a pledge goal of $666, we're going to play Bomberman again.
Oh, my eyes went bad. I thought, like, the $666 was for the thing under it.
No, that's even cheaper, actually.
Okay. This better be the best fucking thing ever, then.
If you pledge $200, you can get a Travis action figure. The person who suggested it wanted an action figure that talked, and I couldn't find a website that allowed that. But I'm gonna see maybe like getting a talking postcard as well to go along with it.
He comes with 600 phrases.
But that's what's up on the site right now. We're still accepting ideas, messages with anything you might have in mind. And just as a side note, because it's such a great relief, and I'm so glad it happened, in between the last podcast and this, the next door neighbors moved out and their dogs are gone. And I think they finally finished the construction they were going on there. So the neighborhood is finally fucking quiet.
God. Those dogs have been there since I've known you.
Yeah. Oh, the damage they've done to my mind. But that's it for the Straw Hat now. A couple of quick things about Tamer's Abridged Episode 2, because most of the jokes and everything in that just happened during script writing. There's no real story behind them. But the terrorist masturbator. Thank you for that, Travis.
Travis, what the fuck are you?
I actually had like several ideas in mind for when he kisses his girlfriend. The balloon was just one out of like three. Another idea I had would be that he would blow into her and play her like a saxophone. Another idea I had, he would speak into her like he's talking to the mothership or something, whatever it was. We went with the balloon one. Probably just because of Travis's next line after I've cleansed you.
This is the first time we had 4 writers, if I recall, like ever. I don't think we've ever had 4 writers before, have we?
Nope, this was the first time.
Yeah. We had J Pace with us too.
We also brought back Sonic and Tails from the April Fool's video.
Tamers 2 is part of the Jetix block. Well, they were brought back simply because, well, why not? We could, you know how 4Kids used to do those little commercials where they would just like make their own little shitty things where they would just have like their characters randomly interact with each other in very poor ways, like when they did the national anthem.
That shit was amazing.
I was surprised at how decent a Splinter guy was. And the rocket's red glare, and everybody else.
Was it you who came up with what Sonic said?
Yeah, I remember coming up with it. To say it, I'm sorry. Because it does sound like something I would say, but now I can't remember. It's been like, what, we wrote it like a month and a half ago almost?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember saying, like, I wrote what Tails said. And just a little noise he made afterward. I just started, I don't know why, it's just a thing I just started doing, where I would just, where somebody would say something, like, you know, you would say something, like, just ends up, like, incredibly lame, where your voice just gets quieter and quieter, and then eventually, so that's just part of Tails now, it's just what he does.
In fact, the thing that Davis says in the post-credits was supposed to be something Tails said.
Yeah, at the end of the video.
Before you go to jail.
But that was more because Travis misheard me.
Yeah.
Because we were just like spitballing at the end. I said, make sure you get your parents' permission before you go to Jetix.tv. And he thought I said, make sure you get your parents' permission before you go to jail. And we just kind of went with it. And then we ended up giving it to Davis at the end.
Just because we wanted an extra thing for him to say. He was going to say something else, and that. Well, the thing with Davis is he's going to have like 3 or 4 little segments, and then we're basically going to kill him off.
Poor Davis.
He can only last so long, but we wanted to stick him out for just one more time.
He even got his own little logo and everything.
We'll keep Tempe busy with the new characters.
That's so sad though. He's gonna die, and like they just gave him his own little logo and such. Like his segment's actually doing all right, and then he just dies anyway.
Well, I don't know if we'll actually kill him off. It's just he's not going to be permanent.
Me personally, I still just love Takado's dad and how he's obsessed to get in the news now.
I don't understand that, man.
And I also love just one of my favorite jokes is when he's like putting the sign. He's like, after 7 years, we are open. What were you doing with the bread for 7 years? It's stale by now.
They're honing their craft.
But okay.
So I did want to say something. I haven't had much fun editing the various abridged things we've done for a little while, keeping in mind we haven't done an abridged thing in a little while. But getting back to it, editing took a while because I didn't have a whole lot of motivation. Editing doesn't really give me that much personal gratification like it used to. It ultimately came out okay. I actually did like 3 days worth of editing at the end. I had this random spark of motivation, but for the most part, I was just thinking through the whole time. Maybe for the next thing that we do, we might want to think about getting another editor to take my place. Because I much prefer to do the writing and the acting. I don't care to do much of the editing anymore. I'd rather focus more on our Let's Plays right now. We're already focusing on that anyway, but I'm enjoying doing that, both recording and editing for those. I'm going to think about that a little more. If we do get another editor to take my place for that, there's a good chance that new abridging videos could come out a little bit quicker. Possibly, like if anything, I could just focus on writing the stuff and recording it, setting it off to them, and then we could do something else.
Yeah. And no matter what project you do, editing is always the most time-consuming and least fun. Whether it's audio or like even just doing Let's Play videos. It wouldn't take as much time as doing an abridged, but still.
Actually, lip syncing is one of the lesser time-consuming parts of it. And honestly, it's the easiest part for me. It's a bunch of all the other little things. I'll probably still keep editing for Jetters though, but the Midnight Frogs, I'll at least think about getting someone else.
Henry. I forgot about Henry.
Well, is there much to say about him?
Well, he's different from regular Henry. Then again, we do that all the time, but I just love the way he talks. Because he was like one of the earliest ideas we've had for this. I remember that.
Yeah.
Like everything about how he starts every sentence with "hey," and he just rambles on, and he just has that monotone voice. He's gonna talk like that through the whole series. I hope you guys realize.
Hey, it's an artistic decision.
And I just like, hey, look how happy we are.
Hey.
Like he has to tell somebody, hey, look at me right now, I'm being happy.
Look how happy we are. We.
And I love how he clearly looks happy, but he still talks like, I'm so happy right now.
He doesn't look happy either.
Just in that one frame when he's like, hey, with his mouth open, like, ah.
I think we'll come to understand him a little better as the series goes on.
Yeah, like I think the reason why we decided that was because like watching the original show, I was just remembering, did he ever fucking smile?
He does a couple times, just not consistently.
Yeah, which isn't a bad thing, but come on, Henry, come on.
Yeah, in a later episode, we see when he met Terriermon. He just starts bawling his eyes out because he let his fucking video game character die.
Really?
Like, have you ever played any other video game ever?
I don't remember that. Did he really?
Yeah.
Henry, what the hell? Like, of all the things.
Hey, I'm kind of broken up right now. Terriermon is mostly going to be the same. That Lily did a good Terriermon.
She does a good Renamon, too. She sounds just like the one in the dub. This is a little thing, but I was actually pretty proud of it. Breaks my shirt to see this. Just because this shirt has like a little broken heart on it.
I wonder, did anyone catch that?
Please tell me you did. I was so happy about it. It's the little things like this. Like we had better jokes, but it was just like breaks my shirt, guys,
Well, nobody quoted it in the comments, but we probably are going to have Terriermon say Momentai, because this, unlike Sergeant Frog Abridged, is a little more direct a parody of Digimon Tamers, and Momentai is so fucking annoying as a catchphrase. Someone asked, what really is the time-consuming part of editing? Pretty much everything else. The whole process takes about a week for a 7-minute video, and there's a lot of layers. In any one shot of an episode, there can be 2 to 3 layers just of video, and up to like 7 of audio. And it takes a bit of finessing just because I don't have the biggest sound effects library, and I do a lot of individual audio tweaking. I put a lot of chorus delay on everything, just things to make it sound a little less like the same sound effect that was used in the last video. Yeah, people are always shocked to find how much editing actually goes into an abridged series. At the very least, in a one that looks good.
Yeah, it's not as easy as they think. Why do you think abridgers hate the comment getting when's the next episode?
That's why you may or may not notice the last couple videos I've done, especially the short stuff, Mystery Dungeon Fire Red, Sonic, and this, you might notice little bits of video where I was clearly getting lazy. Like the intro with the salsa song. Last couple videos, a lot of stuff where I just used long stretches of the original video, put that in, and didn't bother lip sync or anything, just ran it. especially screen caps where there aren't any characters' mouths visible. So I just leave that and run the audio because I'm just getting so tired of the whole thing.
Couldn't be bothered. No, I totally get it. I know it's just ridiculous the process. But honestly, I actually like the salsa intro. Like I didn't see it as lazy at all.
It was totally lazy.
You probably just used the intro, but like to me, it just worked well enough that I didn't care enough. I was like, oh, that's beautiful. Like that wasn't scripted. I didn't know that was coming. He just did it, and I loved every second of it. And I said, please let that be the intro. It's too good.
I was going to do more of like a YouTube poop music video, just use actual clips from the original audio and turn that into a salsa song. But eventually I just left it with the Latin beat and put the actual song over it.
Because it sounds like something 4 kids would do. It's just like a fucking put whatever. Do it. Just go.
I would like to get back to Sergeant Frog Abridged, so we'll write that, we'll record it. I'll edit that one next, kind of see how I feel. If I'm still feeling like, yeah, I'm kind of done with editing this, we'll try and get someone who will take over. At the moment, I'm just kind of gauging how I really feel about it. I'm not done with the bridging, I'm just definitely starting to feel the fatigue. But I think that's about it. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask them. So if you do need a new editor, how specific are we looking at on editing? I mean, like, once we've recorded all the lines, you have to pretty much put it together from scratch. You'll have the source video, you'll have all the lines, you'll have the sound effects, but there's a lot more work going into it than it looks at first. And of course, the person would have to be at least around my skill level as far as editing, and our general pacing kind of match our general vision for how the episode is supposed to look and sound. That's going to be the hardest part about finding an editor, one that matches us, right? So blowing up a blimp kind of editing, I guess.
That still kills me to this day. I still think that if you want a definition of, well, like, oh, what's Sergeant Frog Abridged about? And then we just show that scene. It's just Fuyuki hitting himself against the school, and the blimp is just falling down and explodes. Like, that's Sergeant Frog Abridged. There you go.
Oh, I just remembered something that I took out from the intro.
Yeah.
After the salsa song, what I was going to do was, instead of that robotic voice saying, Tamer's Abridged, I was going to have a clip from Reverend Horton Heat's Marijuana. Just this salsa song, and all of a sudden, marijuana! And then a clip goes in.
Just right out of left field.
But I couldn't make it sound right. Finding an editor would probably be a good use of, not a contest, but like sort of a video submission audition. Masking isn't too bad. I was so glad when I got software that allowed me to do that. You guys don't know this, but I actually did the original Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Abridged without masking, so everything that required layering, a lot of the lip syncing, I had to make transparent layers in Photoshop.
Premiere isn't exactly hard. I've actually started using Premiere for my Let's Play videos. Wind Waker, I started specifically. It's not exactly hard, but if you've been like editing on Vegas, because I like a Punch Out was done on Vegas, it's more of a shift in where everything is, because it's similar, but I'd say that editing in Sony Vegas is actually a lot easier than Premiere because everything is all over the fucking place. Like, you know how how I add the text in the Punch Out videos with the translations and the NES text? That is incredibly easy in Vegas, but for Premiere, it's a mess because it doesn't have the same options as Vegas does, where I can just like, okay, I want it to be in XY here. Like I just put the number and bam, it's just permanently centered there. But with Premiere, I have to like highlight this and drag it over here and make sure it looks good. Like I haven't used it for Punch Out. I don't think I'm actually going to use Premiere for Punch Out for the rest of it. I still have to record it because just for the text thing, because it's just annoying. Although Premiere, I will admit that it actually does render faster. I've actually done tests. Premiere renders faster than Vegas, but Vegas is definitely easier to use.
They did try to make Vegas less user-friendly between 10 and 11.
I started with 9, then I upgraded to 11 when I had that audio issue, which was actually ended up being a gameplay recording issue, and now that I fixed it, it's no longer a problem. But I still kind of like Premiere just for the rendering because it renders way faster.
Vegas 12 is basically Vegas 11, except it crashes all the time.
Really?
Yeah. Then I downgraded to 9, and it kept crashing. Then I upgraded to 11, and
Just right.
except all the plugins are shit now.
Oh. I remember for Pikmin 2, I used Pinnacle Studios 12. Don't use Pinnacle Studios 12. Just saying. It's so not good. Horrible memories. That was 2011. Movie Maker. Oh my god. Here's the thing. I used to use that when I made AMVs when I was like 14. And they weren't like AMVs for like shit that everybody would like, oh yeah, we all know what Naruto is, or Dragon Ball Z. They were AMVs to a Flash series. How awful is that? I mean, granted it was popular, but like if you mention it now, people are like, what the fuck is that? That sounds incredibly stupid. And it does sound stupid, but hey, the animation was great. And with sprites?
I never saw that AMV, but I do remember that.
Oh, I didn't make just one. I made like fucking 8. But the thing was, like, at the time, like there was only like 8 episodes to this shit, so it was so hard to like make a new AMV every time with a different song and try to make them different. Oh hell no, I never used any Linkin Park songs. It never got that bad. But you know what? I'd say it's equal quality, because when you use Sonic rock songs, is it really better?
It's about as embarrassing.
Well, you know what? I never got a dislike, so I was pretty proud of that. Well, no, those were the days of the stars. So that meant if you had 5 stars, you were immortal. Like, it didn't matter if somebody gave you a half star, because you would always see 5 stars.
I'm really tempted to give Zipcast another shot, because it adds that really old YouTube layout. It's so unreliable to upload anything to it. I had 3 videos up there, and it lost all of them. God, so few people are using it. The videos being watched right now, 24 views, 3 views, 18 views.
Jeez.
Wow, I think Zipcast even lost my account.
Jeez.
I want to like you, Zipcast, but this is what you do to me.
I just typed Zipcast on Google, and all I see is like Zipcast is gone, Zipcast hacked, horrible stuff.
Jesus.
This is the first I've heard of it, actually.
It's been around for a few years.
Oh god, speaking of old videos, I just remember like a really old one. It wasn't really like well, it was a video, but it was an audition I did for this one abridged series that had 1 episode and then he died forever. I did get a part, but I'm glad that I never got to that. So that way it wouldn't be immortalized on YouTube and I would have to tell people never to look it up. But it was for Smash Brothers Brawl abridged. And like this girl was editing it, and she I think she's still around. I have no idea. But I had auditioned to be Lucas, and because I was the only person who auditioned, I won, which yay for me. But at that point, I had used the very first mic I'd ever gotten. And you know that the infamous $10 mic that I used in like SFA 1R and 2? It was the one before that. The very first mic I ever had was an ear clip thing that cost, I think it was like maybe less, or I think it was 20 or something. You put it on your ear, and it was horrendous. I no longer have any like samples of what it sounded like, but it was worse than the $10 mic.
Wow.
I had auditioned and I got the part, but she stopped doing the video after like the series after 1 episode. I wonder if she's still around. Let me see. 4,000 subscribers. What the fuck? You're still alive? What do you do now? What did she do? Oh, pony stuff. Okay, that makes sense.
Go figure.
Well, it's good for her. I'm glad she didn't just fall off the face of the earth like I thought.
She wouldn't have been the first person any of us worked with that did that.
I don't know. I should probably say hi. Just like, hey, remember me from 40 years ago? Because we did talk a little bit on MSN for a while. So I could just be like, hey, remember that one show you did? And she'll be like, why did you remind me of that shit? And then I'm blocked, and I'm like, well, I tried.
It's funnier to make than it is to be sad about. Sometimes I wonder what happened to some of the voice actors who were in the series for like a day.
They should start doing documentaries, like, like, where are they now? But for like abridged voice actors.
I mean, like people in SFA.
Oh, I thought you just meant like random people who just no longer exist on the internet.
Well, that's the thing. Some of our voice actors are like that. Just kind of disappeared. I do know what's happening with Batman right now. He released a new album a couple months ago,
Huh. That's good for him.
and it's not bad. A lot of it's in mono for some reason, but it's interesting electronic stuff. If you're interested in that, look that up.
Huh.
And it's free, so.
I should get in touch with him. I haven't talked to him in a while. I think the worst old video I've ever made that no longer exists was a top 5 countdown of a fucking flash animation that was like 5 minutes long. That's the dumbest idea ever. Because a top 5 countdown for 5 scenes of a short fucking film on the internet, it's so stupid.
Liar Betty has a question. Have you guys considered playing any horror games? I don't think that would be appropriate for us. And I can't think of any horror games I actually like.
I don't really play horror games, and that's because they don't really appeal to me. That, and I'm not the kind of guy who freaks the fuck out after every little grotesque thing, or it's like, boo, ah! Like Five Nights at Freddy's. Everybody's like, that game is so scary. I was laughing the whole time watching other people play. I think the duck is the funniest character in that game, because of the face it makes.
And the thing with horror games, literally everyone is playing them.
Yeah, and like the scary thing in all of them is pop scare. It's like that's it. There's no build up. There's just boo, and that's it.
We will never be PewDiePie. Well, apparently Fatty Time is still going on.
Huh.
It's on right now, but there's literally no information about it on this website. It's just we have it. Nope, no cons from us, because we can't afford it.
Money.
I think we're about done with the podcast.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Tee.
Oh my god, that just reminded me of the Ocarina of Time Let's Play. I forgot. Malin. Teehee. Oh my god. It just clicked right now. That was like a forgotten thing. It just from that Teehee. It just reminded me of Malin.
That's 4.5 years ago, dude.
I don't know why, it just reminded me.
And unlike everything else from 4 years ago, we never talk about that.
I know! And of all the things, just bam!
Tee-hee, you got a message, bitch!
Oh god, that was super old. I like Romani more anyway.
Yeah.
Sacrifice my tee-hee to Satan.
There's no milk in the tee-hees.
I don't watch YouTube poops anymore. Not since I stopped making them. I did keep up with YouTube poop news by Stuart K. Riley, but he just stopped that as well.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Kazuki. They still make them? I thought that was like a fad.
Oh no, dude.
Wow.
Something like 10 years old, still going on. That ain't a fad. You can't really kill YouTube poop, because the whole thing is born out of boredom in the first place. Apparently what's going on right now, it's just such a both homogenous and splintered thing. There's kind of a community in it. It's basically like a community on the internet, abridging YouTube poop, ranting, whatever. The same shit is happening with it now.
So they have like debates over like YouTube poops?
Yeah.
No, my video causes seizures. Look.
I'm sure there's still good ones being made. It's just I'm not that interested anymore.
Well, I always thought a story poop was called a fan fiction, so.
Well, when we get our hands on them, yeah. Well, that I think we've hit our wall.
Yeah. Now I'm just hungry right now.
Yeah, you go ahead and eat.
Okay.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for listening in.
Thanks for coming. See you later.
We'll probably have a next podcast after either Jetters or SFA, whichever one we do next.
All right.
Good night.